There are moments in life that strip away every comfort, every illusion of control, and force you to confront the raw, terrifying truth of your own limitations. When the path ahead seems utterly blocked, the challenge is insurmountable, and every fiber of your being screams to surrender. For Sarah, a young mother and entrepreneur, that moment arrived with brutal, unforgiving force. A devastating personal crisis, coupled with a crushing professional setback, left her utterly shattered, facing a reality where everything she held dear was at stake, and the very idea of moving forward felt impossible. She was pushed to the absolute brink, her emotional reserves depleted, her financial future bleak. The world saw a capable woman, but they didn't see the silent tears, the sleepless nights, the overwhelming despair that whispered she was losing control. She felt trapped, isolated in her suffering, convinced that her life was spiraling into an abyss, and that hope was a luxury she could no longer afford. Every logical reason pointed to one inescapable truth: giving up was the only sensible choice. But what if, precisely at that lowest point, when surrender seems inevitable, an indomitable will ignites within? What if, through an act of radical courage, an unexpected hand of grace, and an unyielding commitment to protect what matters most, a shattered life can find the strength to rise, defying every expectation? This is the extraordinary, raw, and utterly triumphant story of Sarah. It's a testament to the quiet suffering many endure, the profound courage it takes to face seemingly impossible odds, and the remarkable journey of how one soul, pushed to its limits, found that giving up was simply not an option. Prepare to be incredibly inspired, because this is a heartfelt chronicle about the unyielding power of resilience and fierce determination. Sarah had built a life most people only dreamed of. A successful entrepreneur, she owned a thriving boutique bakery in a charming downtown area. Her days were filled with the sweet aroma of freshly baked goods, the joyful chatter of customers, and the creative challenge of designing exquisite cakes. She was passionate about her craft, loved her work, and cherished her small, dedicated team. She was financially secure, deeply respected in her community, and brimming with ambitious plans for expansion. But her greatest joy was her family. Her loving husband, Tom, a supportive partner and a grounding force, and their two bright, energetic children, Maya, a curious 8-year-old, and Ethan, a mischievous 5-year-old. Their home was a haven of warmth and laughter, filled with family dinners, bedtime stories, and the comforting chaos of everyday life. Sarah felt truly blessed, her life a harmonious blend of professional success and profound personal happiness. She believed in hard work, in kindness, and in the idea that with enough dedication, anything was possible. Her future stretched out before her, bright and limitless, a testament to her efforts. Then, in a single terrifying instant, her world shattered. It began not with a bang, but with a series of quiet, insidious whispers. Her beloved husband, Tom, had been battling a hidden addiction for years, a gambling addiction he had meticulously concealed. It started small, then escalated rapidly, spiraling out of control. He had secretly mortgaged their home, emptied their savings, and even taken out loans against Sarah's thriving bakery, forging her signature, all without her knowledge. The truth exploded into her life when the bank delivered foreclosure papers for their home, followed by legal threats against the bakery for unpaid debts she knew nothing about. Sarah was blindsided. The man she loved, her partner, her confidant, had betrayed her trust in the most profound way imaginable. He confessed everything, tears streaming down his face, consumed by shame and regret. But his confession didn't erase the reality. They were bankrupt. Their home was gone. The bakery was on the verge of collapse, and their entire financial future had been reduced to rubble. The emotional betrayal was almost as devastating as the financial ruin. Sarah loved Tom, But the depth of his deceit, the scale of the damage, felt unfathomable. She was left reeling, her trust shattered, her heart broken, facing a future that had morphed into a terrifying abyss. Her children, Maya and Ethan, sensed the sudden tension, the hushed arguments, the tears their mother tried to hide. Their innocent questions. "Are we moving? Why are you sad, Mommy?" pierced her heart, compounding her guilt and despair. The news of the bakery's financial troubles spread quickly through the small town. Some customers left, wary of the instability. Suppliers demanded immediate payment. Her once thriving business was hemorrhaging money, its reputation tarnished by association. Sarah, once a respected entrepreneur, now felt like a public spectacle, consumed by shame and the chilling reality of absolute ruin. She had lost everything: her home, her financial security, her trust in the man she loved, and her sense of control over her own life. She felt utterly broken, adrift in a world that felt alien and cold, with no clear path forward. Sarah woke each morning to a crushing weight in her chest. The sweet aroma of baked goods from her bakery, once a source of joy, now felt like a painful reminder of its imminent demise. Her days became an exhausting, relentless blur of trying to salvage what little they had left. She met with lawyers, creditors, and bank officials, her mind reeling from the complex legal jargon and the stark reality of their bankruptcy. Pleaded for extensions, for understanding, for any shred of mercy, but she was met with cold, professional indifference. The system, designed for profit, had no room for personal tragedy. She found herself working tirelessly, from dawn until late into the night. She baked, cleaned, managed what little inventory they had, often falling asleep standing up. But the bakery was bleeding money faster than she could earn it. Customers, wary of the rumors, dwindled. Suppliers, demanding immediate payment, threatened to cut off supplies. She knew, rationally, that continuing was futile, that it was a losing battle. Every financial spreadsheet screamed failure. Every logical analysis pointed to surrender. The pressure was immense, a physical weight pushing down on her shoulders. At home, the emotional turmoil was even more brutal. Tom, consumed by guilt, was seeking help for his addiction, attending meetings desperately trying to make amends. Sarah wanted to forgive him, but the betrayal was too fresh, the pain too raw. She found herself oscillating between profound love for the man she married and overwhelming resentment for the ruin he had brought upon them. Their conversations were strained, punctuated by unspoken accusations and desperate apologies. Yet amidst the chaos, she saw his genuine efforts, his struggle to reclaim himself, and a tiny, fragile thread of hope for his own redemption began to form. Her children, Maya and Ethan, were her greatest motivation, but also her greatest source of pain. They missed their home, their familiar routines. Maya, perceptive and sensitive, often asked, "Mommy, why are you always sad now?" Ethan, confused by the sudden changes, acted out, his frustration manifesting as tantrums and withdrawal. Sarah yearned to give them back their innocence, their security, their joy. The thought of them losing their home, their sense of stability, was a fear far greater than any financial ruin. She knew she couldn't give up for their sake. Giving up was simply not an option when their small, trusting faces looked up at her. Sleep was a distant memory. Sarah would spend hours staring at the ceiling, her mind a relentless battlefield of worry and despair. She battled against panic attacks, against the creeping numbness of hopelessness, against the seductive whisper of surrender. She felt utterly alone in this fight. Her friends offered kind words, but few truly understood the depth of her despair, the magnitude of the financial hole she was in, or the personal betrayal she was navigating. She felt a profound shame, a crushing guilt that she had somehow failed her family, even though she was the one fighting to keep it together. There were moments when she wanted to simply walk away, to let the bank take everything, to disappear from the weight of her responsibilities. She was exhausted, drained, her spirit flickering like a dying candle. She would stand in the empty bakery late at night, the silence deafening, tears streaming down her face, screaming internally at the unfairness of it all. Why her? Why now? Why did she have to carry this crushing burden alone? She believed her strength was depleted, her resources exhausted, her story destined to end in absolute ruin. She was fighting a war on too many fronts, and the enemy seemed invincible. She truly believed she was at the end of her rope, her spirit pushed to the absolute breaking point. Just as Sarah was preparing to close the bakery doors for good, to surrender to the inevitable, an unexpected phone call pierced through the silence of her despair. It was from Mrs. Gable, a quiet, elderly woman who had been a loyal customer for years. Mrs. Gable was known for her discerning taste and her meticulous attention to detail, but rarely spoke more than a few words. "Sarah, dear," Mrs. Gable's voice, surprisingly firm, came through the phone. "I heard about your troubles, about the bakery. I know about hardship, and I also know about true grit. And you, my dear, have it in spades." Sarah, stunned, could only stammer. She expected pity, or perhaps a polite farewell. Instead, Mrs. Gable continued, "My late husband was a baker, a brilliant one. He had a secret recipe for a special sourdough starter, passed down through generations. It's what made his bread legendary. It's been in our family for over 100 years. He always said it had a spirit. He wanted it to go to someone who truly understood the soul of baking, someone who deserved a second chance." Sarah listened, her heart pounding. "I've been watching you, Sarah. The way you care for your customers, the passion in your eyes, even when you're exhausted. You have that spirit. I want to give you his starter. It's a gift, and with it, a challenge. Rebuild. Not just your bakery, but your belief. Don't you dare give up." Sarah, tears streaming down her face, could barely speak. This wasn't just a recipe. It was a lifeline, a profound act of trust and kindness from a near stranger who saw beyond her struggles, who saw her true worth. It was a tangible piece of hope, a whisper from the past, reminding her of the enduring power of passion and legacy. That phone call, that unexpected gift, ignited a fierce, unyielding resolve within Sarah. Giving up was no longer an option. Not when someone believed in her so profoundly. Not when she held a piece of living history, a symbol of perseverance, in her hands. The next few weeks were a blur of renewed effort, fueled by this fresh spark of hope. Sarah began experimenting with the sourdough starter, meticulously learning its nuances, its rhythms. It was a slow, painstaking process, but each loaf she baked, each new recipe she perfected, was an act of defiance against the despair, a tangible step towards rebuilding. She worked longer hours, pouring her newfound energy into her craft. Aroma of fresh sourdough filling the bakery, a scent of new beginnings. She also took bold, desperate measures. She held a community bake sale, selling freshly baked sourdough bread and pastries, telling her story with raw honesty, appealing directly to the town for a second chance. She spoke of her husband's struggles, his commitment to recovery, and her own unwavering determination to keep her family and her business afloat. The community, moved by her vulnerability and her fierce courage, responded with overwhelming support. People lined up, not just for the delicious bread, but to offer words of encouragement, small donations, and volunteer help. It was a powerful outpouring of collective kindness, a testament to the belief that genuine grit deserved a chance. The money raised from the bake sale, though not enough to clear all debts, bought her precious time. It helped cover immediate expenses, secured vital supplies, and gave her a small breathing room. She used her passion, her talent, and her newfound voice to plead her case with creditors, showing them her new business model, her renewed community. Support. She offered payment plans, worked tirelessly to prove her commitment, and slowly, painstakingly, began to negotiate terms that allowed her to keep her bakery open. It was a daily battle, but now she had allies. She had hope. And most importantly, she had purpose. She was rebuilding, not just a business, but her life, piece by painstaking piece, fueled by an unwavering belief that every single step forward, no matter how small, was a victory. Sarah's comeback was a slow, painstaking ascent, but it was relentless. The aroma of her famous sourdough bread, made with Mrs. Gable's cherished starter, began to draw customers back to the bakery. Word spread through the town. Sarah was fighting, and her bread was more delicious than ever. The community, witnessing her unwavering dedication and the honest steps Tom was taking towards recovery, rallied around her. They became her loyal customers, her biggest cheerleaders. Their support, a constant affirmation that she was not alone. Her relationship with Tom, though forever changed, began to heal. He remained committed to his recovery, attending meetings, rebuilding trust one honest conversation at a time. Sarah, seeing his genuine efforts, extended forgiveness, not out of obligation, but from a place of deep, hard-won love. They worked together, side by side, in the bakery, their shared struggle forging a new kind of bond, stronger and more authentic than before. Their love was no longer defined by an easy harmony, but by the fierce commitment to fight for each other, to rebuild from the wreckage, and to walk a new path. Together, Maya and Ethan, seeing their parents' resilience, slowly regained their youthful joy. Their laughter once again filled the house, now a rented one, but a home nonetheless. They learned a profound lesson, that courage isn't about never falling, but about always getting back up, and that family, true family, means fighting for each other through every storm. They even helped out at the bakery on weekends, proud of their mother's strength, of the magical sourdough that had helped save their lives. Sarah eventually stabilized the bakery, cleared its debts, and even expanded, cautiously, deliberately. She offered job opportunities to others struggling in the community, remembering the hand she had been extended. She became a vocal advocate for financial literacy and addiction recovery, sharing her raw, honest story at community events, inspiring countless others to seek help, to believe in their own capacity for change, and to never give up, no matter how dire the circumstances. She taught them that vulnerability was not a weakness, but a profound source of strength. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that life will inevitably throw us into impossible situations, moments where every logical reason points to surrender. But it shows us that even when stripped of everything, when faced with betrayal, ruin, and overwhelming despair, the human spirit possesses an extraordinary capacity for resilience, for healing, and for rebuilding a life far richer, far more authentic than before. Her journey is a testament to the truth that true strength isn't about avoiding falls, but about the unwavering courage to get back up, to fight for what truly matters, and to discover that within you lies an unyielding will that simply refuses to surrender. Her tale is a beacon of hope for anyone grappling with overwhelming adversity, with personal betrayal, or with the belief that their future is beyond repair. It reminds us that giving up is never truly an option when your heart still holds a flicker of hope, when your love for others remains fierce, and when your spirit decides, with an unyielding roar, that it will not be defeated. Because when you choose to fight, to rebuild from the ashes, and to embrace every struggle as a testament to your spirit, you don't just reclaim your life. You become an unforgettable inspiration, a living testament to the power of never giving up. If Sarah's incredible story of when giving up was not an option touched your heart, if it reignited a spark of resilience or reminded you of the profound power of unwavering determination please take a moment to like this video. Your likes help us share these powerful true stories of courage and triumph with more people who need to hear them. And if you're moved by true tales of the human spirit, extraordinary strength, and life's beautiful transformations, be sure to subscribe to Heartfelt Chronicles. We bring you inspiring stories every week that remind us that no challenge is too great for an unbreakable spirit. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another journey with us. What's a moment in your life when giving up was simply not an option? And what fueled your strength to push through? Share your powerful experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a space for support and shared understanding. Thank you for watching, and remember, your spirit is stronger than any obstacle you will ever face. See you in the next video.